Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say how delighted I am. I'm the newest member of this committee, and looking forward to serving with you as chair and with our ranking member and doing the hard work that this committee should be doing. So I'd like to follow up on Senator Ernst's question and see if I can just dig in a little bit more and make sure I understand this. Each of you is responsible for communicating the concerns of enlisted personnel up the chain of command. So you know as well as anyone that the vast majority of our enlisted service members transition out of service before they reach their 20 years. And when they leave, they need to be able to find these civilian jobs. You know, this transition, I recognize, can be really difficult, even for highly trained and experienced personnel. And I just want to ask a couple of questions about why that is so. Sergeant Major Daly, the Army trains thousands of soldiers every year to drive trucks in the most difficult conditions, in combat, with hazardous cargo, at night, in sandstorms, you name it. If it's tough, you train people to do it. So would you say those folks are pretty good truck drivers?
I would say, in my opinion, they're the best in the world, ma'am.
Best truck drivers in the world. That sounds like an expert opinion on that. So with those kinds of skills, when they transition from the Army, it is reasonable to assume that they could pretty much sign on with any long-haul trucking company and hit the interstate the next day, right?
That is correct, ma'am.
And they can?
Not fully, ma'am, no.
No, they can't. How come?
Ma'am, it's a complicated matter. First and foremost, one, we have to credential them, those young men and women. Two is we have to work the requirements for each and every one of the 54 states and territories that license those trucks, ma'am.
So we've got a state and national licensing problem here. And we can't take the world's best truck drivers and just automatically move them into truck driving jobs, right? Civilian truck driving jobs. Okay, let me ask another one. Chief Cody, I know that you got your start as an air traffic controller. I did my homework, and the Air Force trains thousands of air traffic controllers every single year. These airmen are responsible for the safety of aircraft worth millions of dollars, not to mention the lives of their crews, that they often direct traffic in the most hazardous possible situations. Is that correct? All right. Sounds very challenging. Surely these individuals can walk out of the Air Force and fill an opening at a low-key domestic airport when they separate from the services?
So they can.
You would like them to be able to? Can they? Can they get fully credentialed? So they right now are fully credentialed and able to do that. Any airman can leave.
Yeah. So for us in the Air Force, we and this goes back to 32 plus years for me. We have been given that authority from the get-go. So when we graduate our training, we have an FAA certificate, which is what is required to be a CTO, Control Tower Operator. So any air traffic controller that has received that can go and apply. Now, they have to compete with everybody else.
Fair enough.
Post 9/11, the FAA changed their hiring rules for controllers that would come after over the age limit. Age limit is the biggest limit factor for us.
But we have set up at the federal level a licensing program, so once you've gotten that training, you just take it and you come out and you slip right into at least the competition
Exactly.
for the civilian job. Very helpful. Thank you very much. Master Chief Giordano, let me ask, enlisted sailors operate and maintain some of the most sophisticated equipment in the world. They're trusted and trained to respond in any number of crisis situations. So surely these personnel are able to obtain civilian certifications and licenses at their service jobs. Is that right or not?
To an extent, ma'am. We have about 80 enlisted ratings in the Navy, and we offer every sailor at least one opportunity to earn a credential in each one of those ratings. But the unfortunate thing is those ratings encompass a number of different skill sets. So our Navy is driving to reinvent our training pipeline to where we can train to a specific skill set in each one of those ratings and then get to a credentialing opportunity so that they'll have that expertise as they do make that transition.
And then like the Air Force expertise, will it be a credential that will be recognized in all 50 states, or are you going to have to negotiate, or as you say, 54 different jurisdictions that you have to negotiate?
a path that we will have to cross, Senator.
I think that sounds like 54. But thank you. Look, I know that we have made progress in this area in part thanks to the former First Lady's Joining Forces initiative. I know you all have worked on that. And I definitely don't want to change or lower civilian certification standards. That's not the problem here. But it seems to me that America spends hundreds of millions of dollars each year to train our service members to do these highly skilled jobs. We train them to do these jobs with precision, to do them without mistakes, to do them in active combat situations, and I believe they should be ready to move into civilian life with those certifications. What concerns me right now is that too many service members are being roped into expensive credentialing programs by predatory for-profit colleges that are looking to get a hold of those military benefits and make a profit off them. And I just want to work on making it easier for our service members when they leave the service to have that credential in hand and know that that credential is going to be recognized in all relevant 54 jurisdictions. I think we can fix this problem, and I look forward to working with you on it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Warren. Senator Warren, I suspect there's going to be one or two policy matters that, on a broader base, that we may not see eye to eye on. But on the line of questioning you just had, there's a lot of, after we defer